Now, the much awaited return of Leon Bailey to the national setup is imminent. Of course, some people are related while some are on the fence. As for me, I really want to see this. Why? This is his chance to show that he can be a difference maker and inspire the team to higher heights. Now remember, it is he who wants to be treated like Lionel Messi or Ronaldo or whichever big star when he's on national duties. It is he who thinks people show up to see Leon Bailey and not necessarily the national team. Well, let's see if him can ram up stadium. Let's call it 20,000 plus. The man's talent is obviously up there. However, if he wants celebrity and legendary status, Bailey better show up and show out. Stop harping on sacrifices. For even fans, it's a sacrifice to watch the team, and as for other players under this JFF, any involvement in the program is a sacrifice. Get over it. Now, as I said in previous recordings, Mikel Antonio said Bailey's lashing out at the JFF has forced the governing body to start doing better. So, if the JFF is doing better, there should be less complaints and more ball a roll. The pressure is now on you, big man. Coach Steve McLaren is given the assurance that Bailey is enthusiastic to be back in the setup.
And I spoke to him and said, yep, finally we're going to see Leon Bailey. And he's absolutely delighted. Can't wait to come over and be part of the squad. He's very keen to do that, but very enthusiastic about Jamaica. And he always has been on the phone. So it's great that we finally get him in and we can look at him and he can look at us and contribute to the next camp and the next games.
Bailey has not made himself available for the Reggae Boys for a year now, when he was suspended by the then coach Hallgrimsson for missing curfew after a victory over Canada. Hopefully, his relationship with McLaren has enough respect so he does not transgress, which might lead to, unnecessary disciplinary action.
They know, I have certain rules and certain ways of doing things, certain principles that we need that cross the line. There are consequences to that.
As you know, Bailey was called up for games against Cuba and Honduras in early September, but was kept out due to injuries. Now, the last time he turned out against the USA, he was instrumental in a good showing despite this.
Saved! Rebound! Is wide! He missed it!
We were disappointed, but we won't hold it against him. Hopefully, he'll be fired up to make amends this time round. So, Coach Steve McLaren releases 23-man roster, barring last-minute injuries, as he prepares to face Pochettino and the USA in a two-way tie in the Concacaf Nations League quarterfinal, home and away, set for this week and the 18th. The squad sees a first call-up for Newcastle midfielder Isaac Hayden and a recall for striker Shamar Nicholson, while Deshaun Bernard is back. Mason Greenwood, who it is hoped will don the yellow jersey, is still not here.
I'm constant touch with Mason. The message is always the same. When the time is right, you've got to think that he's had a traumatic time the last 2 years in his contract. And he's been on loan, he's been here, he's been there, he's publicity. And I think he just wants to settle in at Marseille and enjoy his football, which he's doing. And he wants to join the Reggae Boys. I know that every time I speak to him. I've no reason to doubt that. And the process goes on. I didn't expect it to be, once he missed the first camp, any of these camps. But I'm hoping by March time we'll have made progress on everything.
Ravel Morrison is still being touted. Honestly, I don't know why. I do believe in giving a man chances. However, is Ravel over his own issues to make him a viable option? I mean, it's years now people are trying with him, Anyway.
And I know he's finally back playing. He's had 4 games, his first 4 games for 18 months. So he's had no rhythm, no momentum, not training. But now he's training. He's playing in Dubai. He's had 4 games, scoring, assisting. And Ravel is someone I know well, worked with him. My type of player. I love that type of player. And I think it's one that I never thought the first 3 camps that he would be involved, but we'll certainly, after this camp, be picking him up over the next couple of months and seeing how he's playing in Dubai, keeping an eye on him. So the door is never closed on anybody, and definitely not Ravel.
Plus, remember now, he too did voice disappointment at how the JFF handled business. So, I don't know. Antonio himself is out for the first game due to yellow card accumulation. However, I'm concerned about his lack of goal scoring form for West Ham as they struggle to move up the table.
In the interview, I always said to myself, a minimum I should be getting 10. Obviously, I want more than 10. I'm not going to share the number, but it's one of those things where I always believe that I should be scoring 10 a season.
Could this lack of form affect him in the national colours? As for Bowser Nicholson, it's good to see him back also. Though on the comeback, and not necessarily scoring, a lot, 3 goals, yeah. But he's always a good presence in the squad. A player who can make things happen anytime.
He's desperate to play. He's at that stage in his career where he needs to kick on. And this is one of the ways that he can. He's at Newcastle at the present moment. He needs to find a club, but he's training, working hard, keeping fit, playing games. And it's great that we got the passport through for him. He visited Jamaica personally himself to be available. So he made that commitment. And I think it's best he comes in now rather than waiting for March just to get used to the group and us to get used to him. So he will be a welcome addition to our squad in terms of a genuine number 6 who's played at the highest level in that position. He's an ideal candidate for us. So I'm pleased that we've got him.
Hayden, one would hope, would show up the midfield, and God knows we need that, whether we're going forward or even defending. Midfield has always been a problem for us. We tend to play defense forward, bypass midfield. We need to play thirds, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, ball over the top, that's cool, but we need to be able to play through the thirds. The team that controls the midfield, usually the team that will be on top in the game. Bobby de Cordova-Reid, a player who I personally like a lot, will not be there as he's expecting the birth of a child. Of course, the squad is led by Superman Andre Blake, with Jamali White, Shaquan Davis, Dexter Lambikisa, Tavon Gray, Damian Lowe, Mason Holgate, Ethan Pinnock, Richard King, Amari Bell, Greg Lee, Joel Latibadair, Karoy Anderson, Casey Palmer, Tyreek McGee, Kaheem Dixon, Romario Williams, Demarai Gray, and Ronaldo Cephas. Now, those are the options for Coach McLaren. Can you guess the starting 11? Now, this game will be the biggest test for McLaren since taking charge of the Reggae Boyz, and he knows it.
I'm excited about this game. I think the last camp, the last 2 games, the mission was get the job done, qualifying. We finished top of the league. We were delighted with that. And to be given an opportunity to test yourself, the team, against top quality opponents, there's no more top quality than the USA. And with a new coach, Pochettino, who I know well, have come across, coached against, very, very good coach. That Tottenham team he had in the Premier League was excellent. His experience since has been top, world-class football, world-class coach. And USA have really got a very, very good coach for the next World Cup because they're already qualified. So this is, it's like myself, and he will be the same. It's looking at players, looking at squads, looking at systems, looking at the way of playing and building towards the World Cup. His advantage is he's already qualified. Ours is we need to qualify. So this is an important game for us. It's an opportunity to gain Gold Cup qualification in terms of rankings and getting into the semi-finals, which will automatically get us there. It's an opportunity for the team to put a marker down and say, okay, now we're contenders for this, and we can play at this and compete at this level. So it's going to say to the players, it's a case of putting a marker down to Concacaf, to all the teams in Concacaf, the Caribbean, that Jamaica are still there, and still thinking long term and trying things out and
Resilience, tenacity, a fighting spirit, along with technical and tactical maneuvers, will need to be at the highest for these two games. First in Jamaica in a few days' time, and in Missouri on the 18th.
We have the ability, we have the quality, we have the players, the skill. It's just keeping that mentality for 90 minutes, because I feel like, obviously, with the experience of trying to keep the set mentality, keep going for 90 minutes, small little mistakes cost us. And when you're playing at the best level, you have to stay tuned on for the full 90 minutes. As soon as you don't, we get punished.
As always, there's only one Reggae Boys, one Jamaica. And guess what?